who the hell knows with these things? It seems like there's no real rhyme or reason. But if there ever was a case for an appeal, he's got it. He 100% has it. He's also, unfortunately, probably been robbed of millions of dollars, because if he wins that fight, the rematch is even bigger. Now, to his point, there's a rematch clause that Gervonta...
Sure, but I actually understand why the New York State Athletic Commission did not want to overturn the results. Basically, they're saying that rounds 10, 11, and 12, they don't know how Gervonta Davis and even Lamont Roach would have adjusted to their, their fighting strategies and all that if a knockdown had been scored. Obviously, that changes the trajectory of the fight. When
Tank entered the ring against Lamont Roach, anticipating another dominant performance. However, instead of a clear-cut victory, the fight left him surrounded by controversy. Since that night, he's faced heavy backlash, with many fans arguing that he should have lost. But the drama doesn't end. Their ongoing legal troubles could put his future in the sport at serious risk.
We did it. They upheld the draw, but they said the referee should have counted as a knockdown. So they said it was a knockdown, but they wasn't going to change the decision.
To be fair, this doesn't come as a shock. Tank had already hinted that 2025 might be his final year in boxing. However, at this point, the decision might not be entirely his to make. Right from the opening bell, Tank's confidence was undeniable. He even told Roach directly, "You're not going to win," as if the outcome had already been set in stone. But when the fight went the full distance, it was clear things hadn't unfolded the way he expected. That unexpected turn of events is exactly what's brought so much criticism his way.
How they go off of Gervonta Davis taking a knee and then going midway, Steve Willis?
Yeah.
Doing the 4 count and then stops it.
That was crazy.
And then they allow it, and then they call it a draw, and then they say they try to overturn it, but they can't overturn it. It's already done. The gig is up. And then they keep it a draw, but they change the rules.
If I'm a boxer, if I get dropped, I'm gonna tell the ref to stop.
Yeah.
Tank did it.
Yeah.
Hey, stop. No.
Yeah, you gotta finish that count.
Yeah.
When Floyd got hurt, he hurt his hand, and one of his hands he touched. I don't even think he touched the canvas, but they started right away, giving him the 8 count.
Yeah.
Giving him a 10 count at least. He beat it. But this is my problem with today's sport of boxing, is that everyone's changing their sanctioning rules, and they make them, and they create them. But for
the judges ultimately scored the fight as a draw, and while Davis might have been willing to move on, Roach's team had other plans. Almost immediately, they pushed to have the decision overturned, insisting that Roach had done enough to secure the win. However, after reviewing the case, the commission upheld the draw. That should have been the end of it, but Roach's camp wasn't ready to back down. Instead, they shifted their focus to a different issue, one that could have serious repercussions for Davis. Midway through the fight, Tank made a move that caught the attention of fans, analysts, and now the commission. After taking a knee, he gestured for a towel, seemingly calling for a timeout, something that has no place in professional boxing. The rules are clear, and every fighter knows them before stepping into the ring.
Quick rinse, back in. Don't throw anything into the ring. You need my attention for anything, go through the inspectors. Okay. Just another fight. Just another fight. No need to get too deep about it. All right, just another fight. All right, you've been here before, you know what it's all about. So I'll see you.
In boxing, there are no timeouts, no moments to pause and regroup. When a fighter takes a knee, it's up to the referee to issue a count and determine whether they can continue. This has become a major focal point in the legal scrutiny surrounding Tank. According to Lamont Roach's legal team, Davis made a move inside the ring that violated the rules, yet he was never held accountable. To them, this highlights a larger issue in the sport, one where top fighters receive favorable treatment to protect their status and fan appeal. Their argument suggests that because Tank is a fan favorite, officials were reluctant to take serious action. But in their eyes, he should be held responsible for his actions, even if it means facing severe consequences, possibly including the revocation of his boxing license.
And that should have been an 8 count. The ref is a very professional ref. He's one of the best in the world, but he made a big mistake right there. You know, he helped the star, and when you know who the star is and who you're protecting, you still have to be fair, man. You still have to be fair because Roach walked away with the draw, but he should have been champion right now. And even though they already promised him a rematch, they already told him, I'm pretty sure they already told him how much he's gonna make in the rematch. He's still not a champion right now, and he should. Sometimes fighters prefer being a world champion than getting the big purse, because being a world champion is something special to them. And even though Roach is already a world champion at 130, but moving up to being a two division champion, beating somebody like Tank is huge for him, for his career, for his family, for his trainer, for everybody. I think that should have been a
Adding even more fuel to the fire is Ryan Garcia, who never shies away from speaking his mind on boxing controversies. Weighing in on the situation during his appearance on the Ring Champs with AK and Barack podcast, Garcia didn't hold back in his criticism of Davis's performance against Roach, even questioning the legitimacy of the fight's outcome. Tank did what he always does, gave away rounds, Garcia remarked. Roach always had an answer. Every time Tank tried to step it up, Roach responded, and to me, he boxed perfectly. For Garcia, the issue wasn't just the final scoring, it was Tank's approach in the ring. He felt Davis lacked the necessary aggression and that Roach had figured him out, leading to a fight that, in his eyes, should have ended differently.
Victories. When I'm not sharp here, anything can happen.
Yo, Ryan, what did you think about the knockdown? The knockdown with Tank?
That was a knockdown, without a doubt. You can't spin it no other way. It's too clear. And I think the commission needs to do something about it, because it can give me an incentive, anytime I'm not feeling good in a fight, take a knee.
Well, they said
and that's not a shot at Tank. I respect Tank, and I like Tank a lot.
More importantly, Garcia called on the commission to take action regarding the knee incident. I thought Lamont won, Garcia stated, and I think the commission needs to address what happened with that knee. If they don't, then what's stopping any of us from taking a knee whenever we feel like it? They have to enforce the rules. I mean, they took action against me, so they should do the same with others. Rules are rules, right? As the controversy continued to build, Lamont Roach Jr. also shared his thoughts. However, his response was far more measured compared to Garcia's direct approach. During his appearance on the Come and Talk to Me podcast, Roach defended Davis's skills, but made sure to highlight that the fight was a real challenge for both fighters. I want people to understand, he was at his best that night, Roach said. Just because he didn't meet some expectations doesn't mean he had a bad fight. People are saying he's overrated now, but he's still a top fighter. While this may have seemed like a gesture of respect, there was an underlying message in Roach's words. He wants the public to recognize that he faced the strongest version of Davis, not a fighter on the decline. If the narrative shifts to Tank losing his edge, it could downplay Roach's achievement in the ring.
He got lucky as a draw. He did a good fight though. I thought he won it, but man, he gotta just create more action. That's a sparring session as far as I'm concerned. Oh my God. But, God damn, that's not the Gervonta I know.
While Roach defended Davis's skill, it was clear he wanted the focus to remain on his own performance. Meanwhile, opinions from the boxing world kept pouring in. Promoter Eddie Hearn weighed in, stating that disqualification wasn't the right course of action. However, public sentiment was already shifting against Davis. If the commission went easy on him, it would only fuel claims of favoritism. On the other hand, a harsh punishment could be seen as excessive. Either way, Davis now found himself in a situation with no simple way out.
We had a show that night. I haven't watched the full fight. One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, that he should be disqualified. He went back to the corner. I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation for me. Like, there was a lot of people in boxing that were saying that this is a really tough fight. Like, Lamont Roach is a serious fighter. I said it might not be the biggest profile fight, but it's actually quite a tough fight. And Shakur said to me, like, even the day before, I'm telling you, he's going to have big trouble tomorrow night. And I just feel like hopefully this could be...
Just when it seemed like the situation couldn't get any more intense, John Jones entered the discussion. The UFC legend, regarded as one of the greatest in mixed martial arts, made a surprising offer to Davis. The two had crossed paths before, sparking interest in the combat sports world, but this time, Jones had a different message. With Davis facing ongoing legal troubles, a video surfaced on social media where Jones extended an unexpected invitation. He encouraged Davis to consider stepping into MMA, even offering to train him personally. "When are we going to get you in the cage?" Jones asked. "I'll teach you my self-grappling, jiu-jitsu, even some wrestling. It'll come easy to you, man. Those hands. Nobody wants to deal with them. I see super fights in your future. No one wants that smoke."
What's up, King? How are you, boss? Man, it's nice to meet you, man. You working hard, huh? How you get that power, bruh? Where that power come from? God given? I knew it. I knew it. God bless you, man. It's an honor to shake your hand. Yes, sir. You ghost, man.
It was a bold suggestion, but not entirely surprising. Jon Jones has long supported crossover fights, and with Davis facing challenges in boxing, the idea of transitioning to MMA might hold some appeal. While Davis didn't immediately commit, his response caught everyone's attention. "Let's do it," he said. "I'm willing to give it a shot." That single statement sent the combat sports world into a frenzy. If Davis seriously considered stepping into MMA, it could become one of the most high-profile crossovers in recent history. Adding to the intrigue, Dana White has been vocal about integrating the UFC's business model into boxing, making the timing of this potential shift even more fascinating.
We've just done a deal to start a new boxing league with Turkey, who absolutely loves the sport of boxing.
I am very happy today. I give the flag of boxing to the best man who can handle it. He have a tough job now, but I am sure he will be delivering to the people and the fans the magnificent league and get boxing great again.
The model is proven to deliver the fights that the fans want to see. The best will fight the best, and the fighters will continue to move up the rankings and become world champions. We will continue to make announcements on where you can watch and all the rest.
One major reason Tank Davis remains in the spotlight despite the controversy is the number of fights still lined up for him. First and foremost, a rematch with Lamont Roach Jr. isn't just a possibility, it's a necessity. If the referee had ruled Davis's knee as a knockdown, Roach would have secured a career-defining victory, and the boxing world wouldn't be in such an uproar. But that call never came, leaving only one way to settle the debate by running it back. And with a draw or a loss already setting the stage for a rematch, this fight was inevitable from the start.
And the fact that I didn't watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got...
Reports indicate that both camps have already agreed to a rematch, with a potential date set for June 21st in Las Vegas. The urgency behind this fight speaks volumes. This isn't about title disputes or mandatory obligations. It's about settling unfinished business. What makes this rematch even more compelling is how public perception of Davis has shifted. Before their first bout, Lamont Roach Jr. was seen as an overachieving underdog. Now, many believe he should have already claimed victory over Davis, changing the entire dynamic. Fighters who were expected to fall short, but prove they can compete often return for rematches with even more confidence, and that's exactly what Roach is counting on. This time, he's not fighting for respect, he's already earned it. Now, he just needs to finish the job.
Tank want a rematch. Do you, let me know now, do you want to fight Tank again? He said he open to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank
100%.
again?
It's only a matter of time. We're going to fight. We're going to fight again. It's just whenever the fight going to happen.
So it's going to happen?
It's going to happen.
Okay. They say they want it in New York again. Do you want to fight again in the Barclays Center?
I wouldn't mind, but I'd love for it to be in D.C.
Meanwhile, Davis finds himself in an unfamiliar position. He's no longer the clear-cut favorite. His performance against Roach Jr. raised real concerns about whether he's starting to decline, and even his most loyal supporters are beginning to question if his best days are behind him. The doubts aren't just coming from fans. Even fellow fighters are starting to shift their opinions. Undefeated prospect Julian Gonzalez, who initially expected Davis to dominate, has changed his stance. Honestly, I think I had Lamont Roach winning. I'm not going to lie, Gonzalez admitted. But I wasn't mad at the draw. I'm rocking with Lamont, though he surprised me a lot. It's easy to see why Roach is now viewed as a serious threat. And perhaps Davis knows it too. Maybe that's why he's been hesitant to commit to the rematch.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next. You might see it in a minute.
And Gonzalez isn't the only one shifting perspectives. Many in the boxing world, who once saw Davis as an unstoppable force, are now noticing weaknesses in his game. The aura of invincibility that made him so feared is starting to fade, and Roach Jr. has positioned himself as the man who could shatter it completely. But the real question remains, how will Davis respond? If he truly believes Roach Jr. was never on his level, this rematch is his chance to prove it. If he's still the knockout artist who built his reputation by dismantling opponents, then this should be his fight to win. However, if Roach Jr. is as sharp as he was in their first bout, if he really has Davis figured out, then this could be the fight that cements a new reality. That Tank Davis is no longer the fighter he once was.
See, I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. But the rules do state, if you voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there.
Lamont Roach Jr. isn't letting up, and neither are the fans. The controversy surrounding his fight against Tank Davis refuses to fade, and Roach is making sure it stays in the spotlight. While the official result was a majority draw, Roach has been vocal about his belief that he deserved the win, and he's not budging on that stance. Since the fight, Roach has been everywhere, appearing on top podcasts, engaging with the media, and keeping the pressure on both Davis and the Boxing Commission. Every interview, every post, every comment is calculated to keep the debate alive. But this week, he took things even further, directly challenging Davis's fanbase with a viral post that ignited even more heated discussions. Within hours, Roach's post had already racked up over 215,000 views, and within just 2 days, the comment section exploded with more than 425 responses, most of them coming from Davis supporters who weren't thrilled with Roach's confidence. But that's exactly the reaction Roach was looking for at its classic fight promotion, and he knows how to play the game. By calling out Tank's fanbase directly, Roach is making sure the conversation doesn't fade anytime soon. The more people debate the outcome, the more pressure builds for the rematch. And from the way things are shaping up, Roach is in it for the long haul, keeping himself in the spotlight and ensuring that when the rematch finally happens, the hype is at an all-time high.
All the talk throughout the years, what you would do against somebody like Tank, your style versus his, was that not the blueprint? And can you not do 10x that?
I'm not even going to but look, I want some money tonight. That's all I'm happy for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision?
I don't know.
Okay.
We still got to see each other. He say he want to fight me, so we going to fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I thought Lamont won.
You thought Lamont won. Got you. I talked to you.
Naturally, Davis's fans weren't going to let that slide. The comment section erupted, with some mocking Roach for crying over a draw, and others insisting he hadn't done enough to claim the belt. But Roach saw that coming. This isn't just about defending his case. It's about keeping the fire burning, by stirring the pot, and keeping his name in the headlines. Roach is ensuring that when he steps into the ring with Davis again, it's not just another fight, it's an event. He's managed to shift the conversation. It's no longer just about whether Tank's knee should have been ruled a knockdown or if Davis deserved the win. Now, the real debate is whether Roach has the right to be this confident, whether he truly exposed Davis, and whether the rematch will finally settle the score. But if Roach is being honest, he's already made an impact. He's shaken up the sport, and the ripple effect is changing his career in ways he couldn't have imagined.
Personally. Naj, you got anything else from Lamont?
Yo, last question. I just want to know, how has your life changed since the fight, man? You know, obviously we follow each other on social media. I see your followers went up, all of the other stuff kind of going up. How has things changed for you since the fight has happened?
Bruh, literally overnight, it changed. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I got walking around with security. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I walk around with my peoples. Like, it's crazy. I can't do the same stuff that I used to do. Like, I can't go to the grocery store. I can't go nowhere, bro. Like, I can't do nothing. And it's crazy. Like, it's just crazy because
While the controversy surrounding Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. continues to dominate headlines, Shakur Stevenson has been quietly watching from the sidelines. With uncertainty looming over Davis's next move, whether it's a rematch, a suspension, or an entirely different path, Stevenson is inching closer to becoming a key figure in the conversation. For years, a potential showdown between Stevenson and Davis has been one of the most anticipated fights in boxing. Stevenson, known for his defensive mastery and pinpoint accuracy, poses a unique challenge to Davis's explosive, knockout-driven style. But according to veteran trainer Abel Sanchez, if Stevenson wants to truly stand a chance against either Davis or Roach, he'll need to make key adjustments to his approach.
Who you looking to fight next after this fight? Like, Tank over, win, lose, draw, whatever. Who you want next?
Look, if y'all don't know, even after I beat Tank, I'm gonna go back down to 130 and handle some smoke that I got down there at 130. All the champions, I got smoke with all the champions. I wanted to unify at least one belt at 130. So whoever the champion is, whoever the champions are, hopefully I can just line them up and then take them out. It's good fights. The champions are Lomachenko, Shakur, and another guy from Ukraine, Denis Baranchik or something like that.
Okay. I feel like you and Shakur are really. I think people in the comments are actually wanting that fight, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that'd be a good fight.
Yeah, it'd be a great fight.
Yeah, nah, they can fight. Shakur can boogie for sure.
After this fight, regardless of the result, win, lose, or draw, who do you want to face next? Well, if people don't already know, after I handle business with Tank, I plan to drop back down to 130. There's still unfinished business for me in that division. I've got rivalries with all the champions there, and I've always wanted to unify at least one belt in that weight class. So, whoever holds the titles, I'd love to step in the ring with them and settle things once and for all. That sounds like a solid plan. Who are the current champions you have your eyes on? The big names at 130 include Lomachenko, Shakur, and another fighter from Ukraine. I think his name is Denis Banik or something like that. Got it. I feel like a lot of fans have been hoping to see you and Shakur square off. There's been a lot of talk about that fight, right? Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a fight people want to see. It would be a huge matchup, no doubt. If the opportunity comes, I'd be ready for it.
The rematch, what happens with him and Shakur? How do you see that fight
Stevenson has a reputation as being the best defender in the division. He is a feared fighter because of that particular quality. If I'm Tank Davis and I'm coming off a disappointment in terms of my offensive output, I'm not going straight to the best defender in the division. I'm looking for some other fight, and I think the logical fight for him is a rematch with Lamont Roach. Let's see it again. Let's see if Roach can go ahead and capitalize on what he showed here tonight, which is he was a much better fighter at 135 pounds than most of us expected him to be.
Okay, who do you lean towards in Gervonta versus Shakur if that does happen? Who are you favoring?
Based on what I saw tonight?
The same applies to Roach, who demonstrated against Davis that he's not one to back down from an intense battle. His performance showed that he's fully capable of pressuring top-tier opponents and dictating the pace of the fight on his own terms. If Stevenson hopes to compete with either Roach or Davis, he may have to step outside his usual strategy. But that's exactly what veteran trainer Abel Sanchez is hinting at when he suggests Shakur needs to adopt a more aggressive approach. I think if he wants to take on fighters like these, he'll have to be a bit more assertive, Sanchez explained. I don't believe his current style will be enough to handle someone like Lamont or Gervonta. However, if Stevenson adapts his game plan, the matchup becomes even more compelling. Unlike Roach, Stevenson wouldn't necessarily have to apply relentless pressure on Davis. With his reach, quick reflexes, and high-level ring intelligence, he has the tools to control the fight and limit Davis's explosive power. The key for Stevenson would be increasing his activity, making sure he's not just narrowly taking rounds, but winning them decisively.
Going through your mind when you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, from a guy that get knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more. And I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the rounds.
As things unfold, Stevenson already has his next fight scheduled, but the discussion is beginning to shift. While a rematch between Roach and Davis remains on the table, unforeseen circumstances, like a potential suspension for Davis or failed negotiations, could change the landscape. If that happens, Stevenson may find himself next in line, giving him the perfect opportunity to showcase whether his strategic style can neutralize Davis or if he'll have to step outside his comfort zone and take bigger risks to secure the defining victory of his career.